Hello everyone. Today I will tell you about 60-day strategy to crack GATE 2017 in civil engineering. Already I have told you some topics in the previous video. The remaining topics will be discussed in this video. Strength of materials, the first topic. Of this, I consider deflection and bending is the most important topic to be studied. Apart from that, you have to study bending moment and shear force diagram, shear stresses in beam, bending stresses and torsion. Torsion has to be studied thoroughly. Okay, and in bending moment and shear force diagram, you have to study questions like you have to derive shear force diagram from a given bending moment diagram or a bending moment diagram from a given shear force diagram. Okay, there are some standard cases in shear stresses and in deflection. You have to learn those things. This may take around 2 to 3 days for a person to study this much point. Most thing that you have to focus is you have to focus more over the last papers, last 3 to 4 year papers, and practice over it. Then you have structural analysis or theory of structures. Of this, every year one questions come from matrix analysis or either from trusses, arches and suspension cables. Those suspension cables are asked very lesser of these things, but study matrix analysis and trusses thoroughly. Another questions that come in structural analysis is force method or displacement method. In force method and displacement method, you know, moment distribution method, 3 moment method and all, Maxwell method and other virtual work and all. So study about these methods also. Another subject is steel, design of steel structures. Steel structures, we all know one question is fixed from plastic analysis every year. In any of these sets it will come plastic analysis. Any one question is going to come either from shape factor or you have to find out the ultimate failing load and all. Another thing that can be asked from steel is connections, bolted connections and welded connections. Okay, and third thing that comes from steel is IS code. Okay, so questions on IS code is like types of buckling classes, which channel comes in which class, A, B, C. You have to study about this. Then slenderness ratio limits, deflection limits and all. Other things that are to be studied in steel are footings and bases and tension and compression members. We don't have to learn about the design in this. You are not going to design in tension and compression members, but you have to have some basic understanding of these things. Then you have to study about RCC. Like in RCC, you have to have some basic concepts of WSM and LSM, and have some basic understanding of WSM and LSM concepts. Like, and of this, the most important thing that is asked is beams, either singly W or flange beam. So study thoroughly about this. From this IS code 456 2000, almost every time there is a question in either of the sets. So study IS 456 thoroughly. Apart from this, there is now pre-stressed concrete, and we all know what have to study in this, like pre-stressed losses, design of pre-stressed beams, C concept, thrust line and all. So study about this. Okay, so study RCC. Next is construction planning and management and construction materials. Materials can be studied from Gambhir and Rangwala, and I don't think they need to be discussed much. Then CPM. In CPM, questions come on CPM networks, the T and TL calculations, float calculation and slack calculation. Okay, then apart from this, in this it come like tendering process. Questions on tendering process can come. Then you can have to study types of contracts, rate analysis and specification. These can be studied from BL Datta. And then you have engineering economy and estimation. Study about engineering economy, questions on sinking fund factor and all can come. Then you have surveying. In surveying, we know questions on principal remote sensing or GPS, GIS, etc. can come. Types of errors estimation have been frequently asked in the past. So study about errors. Learn about leveling, triangulation and plane table. Apart from these topics, study photogrammetry, because this is just based on simple concepts as well as normal numericals can be asked, like scale and flying height, number of photographs and overlap. So study about overlap, crab and drift. Have knowledge about the working and the equipment details about theodolite and total station. Okay, how they work, what all things can be measured and all. Then you have OCF and fluid mechanics. In open channel flow, like there are several questions that have been asked. Only thing that you can skip is like numerical zones, surges can be skipped, and you have to study everything in open channel flow, like critical depth, hydraulic jump, height, depth before jump, depth after jump. Then you have non-uniform flow, uniform flow, economical sections, and all what not. Everything has been asked in open channel flow. So study open channel flow. Then in FM we know questions from the unit 1 part like fluid properties, metacenter, metacentric height, buoyancy, flotation, and stability have been asked in the past. So study this part very thoroughly. Then you can study in kinematics, stream potential, and velocity potential, stream function, velocity function, and all. Then dynamics of flow. Please remember the formula for notches and weirs. Okay, these are frequently asked, so they can be asked like this CD, coefficient of discharge and its values. Study and remember the formula for notches, weirs, etc. Okay. In pipe flow, we almost remember Darcy-Weisbach formula, flow in siphon and all. So study pipe flow and correction factors. Have a basic knowledge about correction factors. What actually are these? The formula of this and all. And in dimension analysis and hydraulic machine, dimension analysis, model law, modeling, Froude law and all, dimension numbers, etc. Study about dimension law analysis like this. In hydraulic machines, you have to study about specific speed, velocity, triangle, and pumps, etc. And the another topic is like impact of jet. Questions on impact of jet can come this time. Hydrology. In hydrology, the most important topic is groundwater. Okay. In groundwater, you have to study about aquifers and all and the discharges. Study about groundwater. Then almost all of us study about precipitation, evaporation, rainfall measurement, and gauges. So nothing much to be discussed. Hydrographs, unit hydrographs, and analysis of them, and escargot, etc. also are to be studied. Okay. In flood estimation and routing, study numericals, learn numericals about these, like probability of frequency of occurrence of a flood, then Muskingum metal, channel routing and all, study in this. In irrigation, basics, we all know that what questions come on basics like duty, delta, and water requirement, and efficiency also. So you can study about irrigation basics like this. Then in canals, study more of Lacey theory than Kennedy theory, silt factor and all questions can come. Then canal lining, advantage and disadvantage, spillways, types of spillways, where they are suitable and all, dams, gravity dam, earthen dams, their practical profile and theoretical profile. Okay. And treatment to the foundation that has to be given, foundation treatment also, study about this. Waterlogging, reclamation of soil, methods of irrigation, which method is suitable and where, you have to study this. Have a basic knowledge about cross drainage work like aqueducts and all. Then cross regulation work, canal outlets, canal fall, and canal escapes. What all are these things, where they are used, what type of structure is suitable to which place, study about this. Okay. Then engineering mechanics, generally free body diagrams are to be asked. In kinematics, like 11th class physics or fluid mechanics, friction and all, work, power, energy, friction, study about this. Virtual work as similar as theory of structures, and more of this if you want to study is like you can study in your semester 1 class book of engineering, so you can study about this. The 60-day plan, how will you study? It's like soil for 5 days, environment for 5 days, transport for 5 days. Don't skip these 3 subjects. These are most important subjects. Study thoroughly about these. Maximum part comes from this part only. You can study CPM, SOM, survey, FM, hydrology, irrigation, RCC, steel, structural analysis. Study plastic analysis also, it's important. Then of this, another thing that I find is more important is aptitude, as I have already discussed in my first video. Aptitude, I also study mathematics, like you can study probability and all. It's easy to study. The last thing that I would tell you is give as many mock tests as you can give. Study about more revision, like you have to revise more frequently every day. You can make your own handbook, your own ready formula book for yourself. So whenever you want to revise, it will just click your mind with what all things have you revised. So you can make your own handbook formula. Okay, formula handbook. The last thing I would like to tell you is, if you have any other doubt, please let me know and in your comment sections what more topics to be discussed, which topic you want me to discuss in more detail. I will discuss it. Give me 2 to 3 days for uploading my video, and all the best for exam.